Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Chan. In today's video, we are going to be investigating 8 cartoons I had no idea existed. Shock. Awe. Confusion. Some of these cartoons you may have seen growing up or thought were super popular at the time, but to some people in certain countries like Canada and the UK, maybe they never even heard of them before. These cartoons are all based off of popular movies, and some of these are quite random, and I wouldn't even expect some of these franchises to pump out animated cartoons. And at the end, I want to see you in the comments down below letting me know if you've seen any of these cartoons, and if there's anyone out there that has seen all 8. Gold star. Number 8. Free Willy! Free Willy, the animated series, was an American-Canadian cartoon that ran for a total of 21 episodes over 2 seasons between 1994 and 1995. Of course, it was inspired by the 1993 Free Willy movie starring, you know, that Free Willy kid. I never remember his name. 1 second. Jason James Richter. I'm gonna forget that in 30 seconds. Did you know that there were 4 Free Willy movies, and the 4th one released in 2010 was called Free Willy Escape from Pirates Cove and actually starred Steve Irwin's daughter, Bindi Irwin? I didn't. The animated series continues the adventures of Jesse and his whale friend Willy, whom Jesse helped free from captivity and jump over a barrier into the ocean in the original film. Jesse has now moved to the Pacific coast, where his Native American mentor Randolph works at the Misty Island Oceanic Reserve, and Jesse gets a job there as well. Jesse soon finds out that he can talk to animals? What? So I guess we can finally hear what Willy sounds like. Okay, here we go. Here's my guess. Jesse, we need to save the dolphins, Jesse.
There are bowhead whales nearby, and they're in danger. Whalers!
Nope, way off. So Jesse's now made some friends, including a dolphin named Einstein, a seal named Lucille, and what the heck is that? A cyborg? Introducing the villain of the series, a powerful oil baron cyborg named The Machine, who blames Willy for biting his arm off and part of his face. I don't really want to picture Willy doing that, but what the baron doesn't know is that it actually wasn't Willy's fault that he looks like that. But the cyborg oil baron wants revenge upon that boy and his damn whale, and continues to commit heinous acts against the environment while hunting for Willy, like creating genetically modified giant squid. Oh yeah, and the cyborg also has some magic powers or something because he can turn inanimate toxic waste into living creatures.
It's the boss!
Number 7. Back to the Future, the animated series. Back to the Future, the animated series, is a French-American animated series that ran for 26 episodes over 2 seasons between 1991 and 1992. The series takes place in its own alternate timeline after the 3rd movie and follows Doc Brown after he moved with his wife Clara, sons Jules and Vern, and of course his dog Einstein to a farm in Hill Valley. Oh come on, you remember Jules and Vern? You know, Doc's kids at the end of the 3rd film?
It means your future hasn't been written yet!
It means your future hasn't been written yet.
The time-traveling DeLorean was rebuilt with new and improved features like voice activation and can turn into a suitcase. And the steam engine Doc built at the end of the 3rd film can also be used for time travel. Marty McFly, who is also in the show, but the show mainly focuses on the Brown family's adventures, has turned into a horn dog comedy act who seems to forget his faithfulness to his girlfriend Jennifer as he hits on every woman in whatever time period he meets.
My name is Mercy.
Oh, baby, have mercy. Ow!
Doc, his family, and Marty have some wacky adventures as they travel to Rome, the age of dinosaurs, and various other points in time, where they usually encounter an ancestor of the McFly or Brown family, and always seem to bump into an ancestor or descendant of Biff Tannen, the main antagonist in the Back to the Future franchise. Doc Brown's wife, Clara, is voiced by the actress who played her in the film, and Thomas F. Wilson returned to voice his character Biff, as well as his many relatives, while Dan Castellaneta, the voice of Homer Simpson, voiced Doc.
What's going on, Bernie?
And there are some odd choices of times and places to travel, like to the Civil War, where Marty fought for slavery, or going to witness the Salem witch trials.
They're planning a weenie roast and I'm the guest weenie.
But a really neat aspect to the series is that Christopher Lloyd himself, who played Doc Brown in the films, would appear in live-action sequence bookends for each episode to perform an experiment somehow related to the episode airing that day. Bill Nye the Science Guy acted as Doc's lab assistant, who would perform the experiment with narration from Doc.
You can make your own long-distance communication device with everyday items found around the house.
This gig was Bill's first appearance on a nationally broadcast show, and this later led to his own show, Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Exciting, isn't it?
Number 6. Little Shop.
Word, Little Shop.
Little Shop is an American-French animated series that aired for just one season for 13 episodes in 1991. It's based around the 1960s Little Shop of Horrors film, where a poor flower shop employee stumbles upon a man-eating plant from outer space. In this animated adaptation that didn't last long, we follow a nerdy teenager named Seymour Krelborn, same name as the protagonist in the 1960s film,
Mom packs health food in my lunchbox.
who works in a flower shop and befriends a Venus flytrap named Junior, who sprouted from a prehistoric seed and has the ability to talk to and hypnotize people, as well as control other plants and plant-based objects.
Attitude lies. Come on, have a little spunk. You may be a lily, but you don't have to be a punk. Wake up!
Seymour is terrorized by the neighborhood brace-faced bully Payne Driller, who is a replacement for the film's counterpart, Orin Scrivello.
He's a professional.
As well, Seymour also has the hots for the flower shop owner's daughter, Audrey, who are all unaware of the strange plant's abilities. Each episode has a few songs, the plant doesn't eat people. In fact, he's actually a very nice talking plant. Number 5. Popeye and Son. Now, this one is not technically based on a movie, it's based on a comic, but Popeye did manage to make it to the big screen. Popeye first debuted in the Thimble Theater comic strip in 1929 as one of many characters, and later went on to become the strip's title and main character, due to Popeye's soar in popularity. Popeye was a super muscular one-eyed sailor with gigantic muscular forearms and a severe speech impediment. Originally in the comics, Popeye derived his great strength by rubbing the head of a wiffle hen. Soon, spinach became his go-to gimmick for super strength and special abilities. Apparently, Popeye was so popular during the Depression that spinach sales in America increased by 33% and was actually the third most popular kids' food after ice cream and turkey at the time. With such a rise in popularity, Popeye went on to star in his own cartoon shows on TV, comic books, TV specials, video games, slapped his face on some candy cigarettes we all used to pretend to smoke, and heck, even a 1980s live-action musical comedy movie was made.
Popeye the Sailor and Popeye the Sailor.
Starring Robin Williams as Popeye and Shelley Duvall as Olive Oyl. That movie was a pretty big hit in our house and was the origin for the ever-popular "I'm buying, he's paying" running joke in our family.
A genuine hamburger for the gentleman. I'm buying.
Hey, thanks. Who's paying?
I'm buying. He's paying.
While Popeye starred in many cartoons like the all-new Popeye Hour and The Popeye Show, his shows generally lasted between 40 and 200 episodes. But there was one cartoon that didn't do so hot, and that was the Popeye and Son cartoon. Airing in 1987 for just 13 episodes, this Hanna-Barbera cartoon followed the now married Popeye and Olive Oyl, as well as their son Popeye Jr., who has inherited his father's strength by eating spinach. Popeye's longtime rival Bluto also got hitched and has a son named Tank, who is Popeye Jr.'s rival. This cartoon strayed from the usual Popeye formula and instead focused more on Jr. and his world of tween issues and adventures in more of a California surfing type of environment.
Whether we are working or playing, we're together in whatever we do.
And P.S. Junior doesn't look anything like Popeye or Olive Oyl. Number 4. Return to the Planet of the Apes!
Return to the planet of the apes.
This is a neat little sci-fi cartoon. It's based, of course, on the 1963 Planet of the Apes novel, which brought about 5 movies. The first movie in 1968 starred Charlton Heston, and after the original films were re-released on TV in 1973 with success, a live-action TV series was created with an animated series to follow. Airing for only 13 episodes in 1975, we follow 3 astronauts who get caught in a time vortex and return to Earth in the year 3979 AD, only to grimly discover that intelligent apes are running the world instead of humans, which have been reduced to essentially mute, primitive humanoids. You damn dirty ape! Unlike the movie, which depicted a sort of primitive ape society, the animated ape society is technologically advanced with their own military vehicles, cars, machinery. Heck, they even have their own film and television industry.
Our army would have great difficulty moving against a fortress.
Each episode is full of very ominous sci-fi music and has really nice artwork. But although the show looked awesome with some beautiful artwork and the storylines feel very intelligent and well written, the animated series didn't receive the best feedback from sci-fi fans, or strong enough ratings to sustain a second season to complete the show's storyline. And within each episode were always lots of reused animations with virtually no movement coming from the characters. It's just their mouths moving as they stand there like statues and never even move their arms. Well, there's definitely no Italians left on Earth.
What are you doing? Speaking Italian.
Number 3. The Oz Kids. Did The Wizard of Oz freak you out a bit? Did Return to Oz give you nightmares with electroshock therapy, a headless witch who takes people's heads off and wears them, that couch thing they brought to life, and it's like, please kill me? Well, here's The Oz Kids to remind you of all that. The Oz Kids was an American animated series that aired for 26 episodes in 1996, based on The Wizard of Oz and its various other stories. In this series, we follow the offspring of all of the famous characters from the franchise, and actually never really see any of the adult faces. The main characters are humans Dot, the leader of the Oz Kids who has a magic belt, and younger brother Nettie, who are the children of Dorothy Gale and some guy named Zeb Hugson, who is not only Dorothy's husband, but is apparently a distant relation of hers of sorts. Dorothy's mother's brother's wife's sister's husband's brother's son. Okay, I think that's a stretch. I think the kids are going to be fine. One day, Dot, Nettie, and their parents are swept up by a tornado and transported to Oz, which they now call home. There, they meet the next generation of the Oz gang and set out on some magical adventures and misadventures in and out of Oz. There's the know-it-all Scarecrow Jr., the son of the Scarecrow, Tin Boy, also called Nicky, the son of the Tin Man, twins Boris and Bella, the children of the Cowardly Lion, Jack Pumpkinhead Jr., son of Jack Pumpkinhead, Frank, the son of the Wizard, Andrea, the daughter of Glinda the Good Witch, and there's Toto. But seriously, that Pumpkinhead Jr. though, kill it! And of course, there are some villains like Otto, the son of the terrifying Gnome King. And fun fact, in a Christmas episode, the characters from The Brave Little Toaster make a cameo. Number 2, The Never-Ending Story, The Animated Adventures of Bastian Balthazar Bucks. Based on the 1979 German fantasy novel, 3 live-action films were produced beginning in 1984. Apparently, the author of The Never-Ending Story hated the original film so much because it only covered half of his book, and he felt they changed so much of the story around that he demanded the movie name be changed and sued the film company, only to lose his case. That's how I feel about the third movie. I kind of want to sue them for making that because that was such a horrible movie.
Maybe we could make a few things happen to him.
But in 1995, an animated series called The Never-Ending Story, The Animated Adventures of Bastian Balthazar Bucks was created. It ran for 1 season between 1995 and 1996 for 26 episodes. We follow Bastian as he steps in and out of this magical land of Fantasia that is ruled by the childlike empress and is always in need of Bastian's help. Really awkward to see modern rock-biter wife in the kitchen. The nothing is now this nothing/Gmork combo, and Zaida is back to take over Fantasia, but she has this really weird obsession with killing everybody. And fun fact, there was more Neverending Story spin-offs. There was actually a live-action television series that was created in 2002 for one season. And number 1, Problem Child.
Problem Child!
Problem Child was an American animated series that lasted for 26 episodes over 2 seasons between 1993 and 1994. It was based on the Problem Child movie franchise of the same name, which first debuted in 1990, adding 2 more sequels later on. This franchise generally gets really poor reviews, but the second film I did enjoy when I was younger. I was always like, oh, what's he doing? The Problem Child animated series follows 10-year-old Hellraiser Jr. as he continues his spoiled brat adventures with his poor father, little Ben Healy, who's now a police officer. His new friend Cindy tags along in the shenanigans, and his former bully Murph is now his buddy. But his grandfather, Big Ben Healy, and Principal Peabody better watch their backs when Junior's around. And Gilbert Gottfried actually reprised his role as Principal Peabody and voiced his own character.
Hold it, Healy! Gambling's illegal.
Because this franchise received such poor reviews and critiques like it's very rude, it's pointless, it's super poorly written, I'm surprised they were even given the chance at an animated series. Oh, and by the way, I have no clue what this weird pet is. This series is very frustrating, it's not imaginative, it's not educational, it's not really entertaining, there's no real meat to the cartoon. If Junior can't have his way, he's gonna make everyone's life a living hell until he gets what he wants in every single episode. Case in point, there's this super nice granny babysitter. I'm talking like super nice that comes to babysit him. She makes him dinner, gives him cookies, but she said Junior can't have a house party, which really made Junior angry, so he tries everything to get rid of her, nearly giving her a heart attack by scaring her, to which Junior replies,
I scared the babysitter to death! Well, now I can have my party.
He even looks in the newspaper for a hitman to deal with the super nice granny. Like, come on!
Alright, hitman for hire. Perfect.
Well, there we have it, everyone. 8 cartoons I had no idea existed based on movie franchises. And in the comments down below, please let me know if you actually watched any of these growing up or even just knew about them in general, and give me your thoughts on some of these in the comments down below. So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come out with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon. So thank you all so much for watching, and stay legendary.